good morning students. I hope people are keeping safe. Today we are going to see about Indian economy. Okay. So what are the economic objectives? That is what we are going to see in this lesson. Is that to understand the current status of the Indian economy in terms of features, natural resources, infrastructure facilities and so on. And second objectives of this lesson is to understand the contribution of major Indian economic thinkers. Okay, so see the first one, the meaning of growth and development. A country economic growth is usually it is measured by a national income. Yes, generally a country economic growth. So if a country is developed or underdeveloped, or if it is in developing, it is only measured through an national income. So we all know about a national income. So national income means what? The total value of all goods and service which are produced during a country over a specific period of time, that is usually 1 year. So every year the national income which has been calculated, so that amount is set. That is, if that amount is a high, means if the national income is high, means the country is developed. If the national income is less, means the country is said to be underdeveloped. If it is in a moderate position, means the national income is said to be, that is, a country is said to be in a moderate level. So this is called as an GDP, that is gross domestic product. So the country development, that is the economic development, is not only measured through GDP. Okay, so it is not only measured through national income, but also if there is an development in an economy, means if the country is said to be developed, means generally it is not only explained through GDP, but also it has explained through the quality of life. So the quality of life which has been measured in three ways. One is an human development index, second one is an physical quality of life index, and third one is in gross national happiness index. Okay, now we will see that economic development, that is the country is said to be developed, developing or underdeveloped. Okay, so it has been classified into three. So a country, that is the level of economic development of a nation, which are classified as developed and developing economies, but we have an underdeveloped also. So see here, a country which is said to be an developed economy. How a country which is said to be a developed economy? Because the country which are fully industrialized and use their resources highly effectively, and the per capita income also will be high. So this is the most important one, that a country is said to be a developed economies. So some of the example for the developed economies are USA, Canada, UK, France and Japan. So these are the countries which are said to be in developed economies. Okay, then see here, on the other hand, the countries which have not fully utilized their resources, okay, so like land, mines, workers, etc. So the countries which have not utilized their resources properly, okay, so ineffectively they have not used their resources, and then they receives an low per capita income. So this is all the reason that the country is said to be an underdeveloped. So see here, the example for the underdeveloped countries are Sub-Saharan Africa, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Pakistan, Indonesia, etc. So they are all termed as an underdeveloped countries or backward nations or third world nation. Next we come to know about an developing economy. Developing economy means that they use their resources in an effective manner, that is not highly effective. They use their resources in an effective manner and they receive a moderate per capita income. So this is said to be a country as a developing economy. So example for developing economy are India is the best example for the developing country. Okay. So next we come to know about an Indian economy. So Indian economy, what are the main things we are going to see from the Indian economy? That is the position where a country stands. So see this graph, the top 10 countries by GDP. So a country which has measured, that is that if there is an economic growth, if an economy is developed, it is measured by GDP. The first thing which is measured by GDP only. So see here, the top 10 countries by GDP in 2016. See the outer look of this thing is that first one, it is an United States, second is China, third Japan, and fourth is Germany, then fifth is the United Kingdom, sixth is France, and seventh is an India. So among the 10 countries, 10 topmost countries, India stands in a 7th position. That is, the total GDP growth is 7%. So Indian economy is the 7th largest economy of the world. So we have to said to be very proud that India is said to stands in the 7th largest economy of the world. Okay, next we come to know about the features, that is the strength of an Indian economy. So which is all considered as an strength, or what are the features of an Indian economy. So see here, nearly we have a 10 strength of an Indian economy. The first one is an India has a mixed economy. So the first most important strength of an Indian economy, that India follows an mixed economy system. Mixed economy means what? That India used both public as well as private sector to coexist and function smoothly. So India India combines both the private, coordinate both the private as well as the public. Why? Because only public alone cannot function the economy. So they need some capitalist for the development of the economy. Okay. So next we come to know about an agriculture plays a key role. The second strength of an Indian economy is that agriculture, because agriculture is the primary activity of an Indian economy. So the total GDP we received from the agriculture is 17%. So the primary activity of an Indian economy, nearly we have an three activities, three occupation contributions to our economy. The first and foremost is an agriculture. Okay, so agriculture plays an important role. Nearly 60% of people are depend on agriculture only. So and 17% which are received, 17% of share which received from the agriculture sector only. Then green revolution. This green revolution is all the most innovative system which boosts the agriculture. So see here, some of the agriculture goods which has been exported are fruits, vegetables, spices, vegetable oils, tobacco, animal skin, etc. Are all these goods which has been exported to the other countries. That is international trading which has been done in the agriculture sector. Okay, next we come to know about an emerging market. An emerging market means what? Emerging market means that India has an emerged as a vibrant economy sustaining and stable GDP growth rate. That is India measures, that is from the topmost 10 countries, India stands in the 7th position. That is the total GDP is 7%. How the economy which has been grown by two process, one is an FDI and one is an FII. So FDI means it is a foreign direct investment and FII means foreign institutional investors. So these two are the most significant, that is most important role which has been played in a Indian economy to boost the Indian economy. Next one we come to know about an emerging economy. So emerging economy means, see here we have an G20 nation, that is world nation in G20. So see here nearly we have an 20 countries. So among these 20 countries, India stands in the 9th position, where the world. So India is in the 9th position, that is emerging as a top economic giant among the world economy. So India bags the 7th position in the term of nominal gross domestic product, and third in the term of purchasing power parity. So as a result, a rapid economic growth, Indian economy has placed among the G20. So it is a very proud to say that India stands in this G20 because the GDP of our country stands in the seventh position, and in the purchasing power parity, India stands in the third position. Next, we come to know about an fast economy, fast growing economy. See here, India is an well known, that is, India is an fast growing economy. Why? Because the fast growing economy, that is in 2016 to 17, the growth rate has been increased to 7.1 percentage in GDP. When compared to the China, they have compared here that India's economic growth has been increased in 2016 to 17. The total GDP of the country is 7 percentage. So this is very important, that don't think that 7 percentage means it is not very less. It is when compared to the other country, that India's GDP is 7.1 percentage, means it is highly important, and it is said to be an great only. Next, fast growing service sector. See here we have in three sector. One is an primary, secondary and tertiary. So primary means it is an agriculture, secondary means it based on the industry, and third one it is an service sector, that is tertiary. So tertiary means it is based on the service sector. So tertiary sector means that is banking, insurance, trade, commerce, communication, real estate, constructions. This all comes under the service sectors. So now what happens, the share which received from the primary and secondary, the share which is very less, but the income which has been, that is the major GDP we received from the tertiary sector, that is an third sector. So see here the service sector contribute and lion's share of the GDP in India. So through this third sector, that is through service sector, the government, that is Indian economy, that is India receives an lion's share, means it is an greatest share which received from the service sector only. So there has been a rise growth in technical sectors like information technology, that is a IT company which has been developed, and a BPO call centers which has been developed, because these are the two most important sector, that is important service sector. So through these two sectors, the people used to get an employment opportunities, and these are the technical sectors that India receives a major share from the service sectors alone. Okay, next we come to know about a large domestic consumption. So large domestic consumption means that India, the next major strength of the Indian economy is that with the fast growing growth rate in the economy, the standard of living has been improved, because India stands in the seventh position. So the standard of living also has been improved a lot. Okay, so this in turn result in a rapid increase in the domestic consumption. So people nowadays consume the consumption started to increase in an economy, and the standard of livings also started to increase in the economy. Next, we come to know about the next strength of an Indian economy is a rapid growth of urban areas. The most important one in India, we have two things. One is an rural and another one is an urban. So rural means it is an village, urban means it is in cities. So but even though now we have so much of village, nearly to more than 2 lakhs we have an village only. Still it is underdeveloped. Still we have one village in our country. But now what happens later, the economy which is growing. Okay, so urbanization is the key ingredient of the growth of an economy. So under Indian economy, the major strength is that urbanization is started to develop. So there is a rapid growth in the urban areas in India after the independence. So much of improvement which has been developed. So like transport, communication, education, health have speeded up the pace of the urbanization. Next, we come to know about the next strength of an Indian economy is a stable macro economy. So, the major objectives of the macro economy is that that a country should be filled with full employment opportunity, price stability, neutrality of the money, then this equilibrium in the balance of payment, then economic growth should be developed. Okay, so these are the major objectives of macro economy. So this should be fulfilled in an economy. So in India, everything which has been filled with this, that is, we receives an employment opportunity, then there is an growth in an economy, and then the money functioning is also neutral in an economy, the exchange stability and price stability, everything which is normal in a country. So this is the major objectives of the macro economy. So according to the economic survey of the year 2014 to 15, so 8% plus GDP growth rate has been predicted. So during this year itself, they have shown that 8% they have predicted. So but actually, so what is the target which they achieved is that 7.6 percentage they have achieved. So this is the greatest thing that that macro economy shows in a stable position. Okay, next we come to know about an demography dividend. So demography dividend means that demography means it deals with the population. So in our country, see here, the populations are more. So when compared to the China, India is the second largest populous country. Okay, the total population is 1032 crores. So, among that, the human capital in India is mostly young. So, what happens in India? The Indian strength is that human capital is the most important strength. So, the maximum percentage of the youth is highly spread all over the country, all over in our country. So, this is the major strength of an Indian economy. So, here the human capital which have been trained with skilled and trained enough to maximize the growth. So through this, the government, that is through this, our Indian economy which has been well highly developed. So also this has an invited and foreign investment to the country and outsourcing opportunity too. So the major human capital plays a key role in maximizing the growth prospect in the country. So human capital is the most important one. Okay, so I just repeat the same thing. See here, the major factor, that is the strength of an Indian economy. The first strength of an Indian economy is that India has following and mixed economy. So we are coordinating that both private as well as and public. So this is the first strength of our Indian economy, because we need both the sectors. So private as well as and public should be coexist together. Okay, next strength of the Indian economy is an agriculture. So far the most important, that is agriculture, that is people depend on agriculture. Nearly 60% of people depends on agriculture alone. Okay, so the major share we receive from the agriculture is 17%, and some of the goods which has been exported, that is like fruits, vegetables, spices, vegetable oils, tobacco, animal skins, etc., which is all goods which has been exported to the other countries. So agriculture plays a dominant role in the economy. Next, the third one, it is and third strength of an Indian economy is an emerging market, that is connecting with the countries. So here globally they are connecting, that is by FDI and FII. FDI means it is a foreign direct investment. They are inviting and foreign countries to invest in our country. So investors are more. And then foreign institutional investors. So this is also is the most important, that they are inviting and foreign countries to invest. Why? Because to increase the GDP in our country. Next one, emerging economy. See here, India stands in the seventh position, that is the GDP of our country is 7%. So this is very proud to said to be very proud that among the G20 country, India stands in the seventh position. Next, we come to know about an fast growing economy. So India is a fast growing economy because the growth rate which has been increased 7.1 percentage in 2016 to 17. Next, fast growing service sector. We have in three sector. One is primary, secondary and tertiary. Among the third one is in service sector, where it gives a line share to the India, that is through technical sectors like information technology and BPO. This is the main service sector which has been used in India. Okay, so through this the India receives a major share. Next one, large domestic consumption. So India is a fast growing service sector, so the standard of living also has been highly improved a lot in an economy, and the domestic consumption also started to increase. So this shows that the standard of living has considerably improved and the lifestyle also has been changed. And next one, it is a rapid growth of urban areas. So we have in two things, one is in rural and urban. So nowadays urban areas which has been started to develop. So urbanization plays an important role in strengthen the Indian economy. So like transport, communication, education, health has been highly speed up. Next, we come to know about the stable macro economy. So the major thing that India has stands in the seventh position, that in our country the macroeconomic objectives are very well stable in our country, like full employment, price stability, exchange rate, neutrality of the money, and then equilibrium in the balance of payment, and then economic growth, which are highly stable in our country. So because of this only, the target which has been fixed 8 percentage but achieved 7.6 percentage. Next, demographic dividend. This shows that it explains about the population, that is an human capital. So human capital is the most important strength of our Indian economy. So the major it plays a key role in maximizing the growth rate, that is youth plays a major role in maximizing the growth rate in our country. Okay. So up to this I will stop. So just a recap what we saw today. So today we saw about today we saw about an Indian economy. So Indian economy, the meaning of growth and development, that is the country which has been measured through national income, that is GDP, the total value of goods and service which has been produced in a country over a specific period of time, usually 1 year. So the country which is not only measured through national income, but also it has been measured through quality of life. So this quality of life has been classified or measured by three. One is an human development index, physical quality of life index, and then gross national happiness index. Then economic development of the country, which has been classified into three. One is developed, developing and underdeveloped economies. So a developed countries means which is said to be, that is the country is fully industrialized and utilize the resources efficiently, and the per capita income will be high. So this is the thing, the country which has been said to be developed economy. So example for the developed economy are USA, Canada, UK, France and Japan. Underdeveloped countries means that they won't use their resources in an effective manner. So they will not utilize the resources fully. So like land mines workers which are not utilized. So and the per capita income will be low. So this is said to be an underdeveloped economy or underdeveloped country. Example for underdeveloped country are Sub-Saharan Africa, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Pakistan and Indonesia. So the country which has been said to be developed, that India is said to be an developing economy because they use their resources which are highly use their resources effectively, and the per capita income will be also in a maximum level. Okay, then Indian economy. So Indian economy, that among the top 10 countries, the GDP of our Indian economy, that India stands in the 7th position. So the GDP of the economy is 7%. So 7% means it is when compared to the 10 country, it is maximum of this. So the features of an Indian economy, we have 10 features. So one is an Indian economy. India has following, that is India has a mixed economy. Then India mixed economy. Then agriculture is the most important of an Indian economy. So agriculture plays a key role. And then India using an emerging market, that is FDI and FII. Then emerging economy. So under G20, India is the topmost, that is it stands in the 7th position. Then India is an fast growing economy. Then India fast growing service sector, that is, and tertiary sector is the fast growing service sector. And then large domestic consumption which has been used, that is, it explains about the standard of living of the country and the domestic consumption of the country. Next, the strength of an Indian economy is that there is a rapid growth in the urban areas, that is transport, communication, health, education, everything which has been started to improve. Next one, stable macroeconomy. The major objectives of the macroeconomy, that is functioning in an India in a stable manner. So the target which has been achieved is 8, but achieved is target which has been fixed is 8% and achieved as a 7.6%. Next, the last strength of an Indian economy is a demography dividend, that is, an human capital plays an important role in a Indian economy. Okay, so up to this I will stop. The remaining will be continued in the next class. Thank you, students.